So guys, just welcoming you back. We are just right here, use different strategies on different situations and use it sometimes again and again, just repeating all of that, just looking for some specific and different situations, just because the practice is a key. If you want to be an expert, if you want to be a professional trader, you need to practice a lot and you need to, to notice all the tiny details, because sometimes if you use even that strategy, especially this strategy today, it's going to be based mostly on the MACD. And it seems like quite easy, quite nice, quite reliable. But when you gotta add this indicator in more specific and more difficult strategies, these knowledges about these tiny details that you can actually notice while you're sitting like here, like that, and just getting bored out of all these easy situations in your profits, you need to be attentive anyway, because that actually may learn you something new. And when you gotta go for some different situations, highest and higher stakes or something like that, it can give you more info of what's going on and how not to be mistaken. So anyway, I do believe this is quite useful. So we gotta start and gotta see how it's gonna be. Here we go. 1 minute. Here's gonna be the start bet. Here's gonna be 15 seconds, the period for our candles. Here's gonna be the Parabolic Sar. And second one is gonna be MACD. Just changing all of the periods, and seems like quite okay. And changing the thickness and stuff. Yep, it's better. Okay, we just done with that. So here's going to be the currency pair for us. It's with the biggest payout, and here in Quotex at about 90%. And we got used to it and we use it. Here's even like 82 and 80. This is what we are just having. So again and again, the strategy with the Parabolic Sar and MACD, nice, easy and smooth. Look at that. Look at the Parabolic Sar lines or dots. Look at the MACD lines. And you need to remember that with the MACD, we are just concerned about this green line and the candles of it. And the green line of MACD is the line that we need. And the crossing of these lines giving us the impression and expectations, and sometimes just, detecting that it's going to be some changes and the trend are going to be opposite. So here we are, and we just gotta get started. So the first situation for us, quite predictable in some cases. So Parabolic Sar giving us the image we're getting upward, MACD green line giving us the image we're getting upward, but the only tricky moment right here is this actually orange candle of MACD, but you may see that it's just changing. And we may see some, doubts out of these candles, just because you may also detect some orange candles just right on the chart. So I think it's going to be still the rising, but maybe it's going to be the smooth rising, not the, the drastic jumping one as it was with these green candles just in a row. So we are expecting it's going to be the upward trend, and I do think it's going to be just the correct prediction. Anyway, these lines are not trying to cross. It is actually started to get a little bit closer while I was explaining you that it's not getting closer. But anyway, I think we still have some time, and there's just a few seconds that left, and we are just about to get it as a profit. So here, look at that. We are detecting some downward trend, and the whole chart situation showing us we were downward and a little bit upward, and then we gotta get again. The Parabolic Sar dots just repeating all the candles and showing us we're getting downward and downward. And look at this MACD line. MACD line showing us we're getting downward, we just detected that crossing. Candles of the MACD are orange and getting it's getting a little bit maybe bigger, but anyway, it is just below zero. And don't forget about this zero level. This is quite important one. So let's see how it's going to be. I do think it's quite easy and nice bet in that case. And look at that. Seems like some green candles just trying to change the situation that we are having. But anyway, it is started to get a little bit closer, and maybe we were just a little bit, we were correct. But in that case, we were almost in the end of the tendency. So I do suggest and I do recommend to enter that situations a little bit earlier, just right after the crossing, just right after, you hit it, just right these candles on the MACD chart. So here, huge green candle right here, and look at this green line of the MACD, so far from the orange line and so high and above zero. And look at these candles of the MACD, still green and still rising. So we do expect it's gonna be some big growing. So we made our bet and we're just gonna wait for that, because all the signs, I do think it's quite clear and you can actually read it personally, perfectly, without even my explanations. Just look at that. You have just the opportunity to compare what actually happened to the chart, what is actually happening with all these images, on that platform. So we are detecting such a huge fall. Look at this, all indicators. Look how now it all looks, on this chart of the MACD. It doesn't mean that the candles were tiny when they were happening. It just means that regarding, in comparing to that situation, for that huge breaking and jumping, that's the situation of the chart is looking like that. And of course, after this big rising, we gotta expect some big fall, at least some fall for sure. But we're not gonna play for that. We're gonna get for some more situations. But in that case, you may be actually quite sure about what's going on. So here, the situation right here is like that. We do expect it's going to be the crossing, and you can see that this crossing is actually happening a little bit after the real tendency of the downward movement of this falling just started. So sometimes it is just working for prediction, sometimes it's working a little bit after, but that orange candles of the MACD already showing us that this is the tendency, and we do not looking for the opposite situation of that, just because we detecting that this changing, this opposite changing just were a little bit before, and this crossing is just, proving that and giving us the image that's going to be the downward movement still. So 15 seconds left. And I was trying, to explain all of that. But sometimes the easier it is, the harder it's to explain, because you want to give lots of details, because it's quite obvious, quite perfectly understandable. So you try to collect all the tiny details and you make it even harder. So this is it, the profit that we are having. Let's make one more bet and just finish that easy and nice strategy. So again and again, you may notice and you may give me some feedback in comments that Parabolic Sar is so additional, and in every strategy with that indicator, in every simple strategy with that indicator, I do repeat that it's actually quite additional indicator. And here MACD, just so reliable and nice indicator. And first of all, not only because this indicator is beautiful by itself, just because there's two tools that we actually can see inside of this indicator, and candles and lines, and that is, that help us, and that makes us actually use some two indicators just by using one. So this is it. I made my bet while I was talking for an upward trend, and it's quite predictable with all these indicators. And in that case, even Parabolic Sar giving us that image that we're gonna rise, and look at all candles of the MACD, not only green and rising, but actually above zero. So this is it, the latest profit that we are just having, and I'm so proud of this strategy today and out of this all situations in the market. So it's done, and just as I told you, I am satisfied and I have some new energy out of that, because all of the time when I am just, when it was possible for me to make such videos, when it's showing all the situations and how the strategy works for some profits, I do feel, excited for more videos, for more tradings and my own, and with them practicing and giving more info about that. So I hope you liked it too, and if you did, you can just put the like or anything like that. You can find all the links just below this video or in my bio, and I'm welcoming all of the feedback that you can give me. So bye bye.